If you want to know how this can improve the quality of air in your house and save you money at the same time, check this video out. What's up guys, welcome back to the channel. So today we're gonna go over some stuff that I actually have been a long-time customer, coming up on 8 years, and just recently reached out to them about our new barndominium build, the Centric Air, their whole house fan unit. So if you don't know anything about a whole house fan unit, it takes all the air from the house and evacuates it up through the attic, sucking fresh air in. So some of the benefits is, one, it saves a ton of money on electricity because you're not cooling the air. The second benefit is just fresh air. We have all the fresh air outside of our houses, but sometimes when your house is too sealed up, especially new construction, you seem to be recirculating the same air through your house. So it's suggested that this unit works best if you have a 10-degree difference. So for example, if it's 80 degrees or 75 degrees in your house and it's 60 or 65 outside because it's cooled down in the evenings, turn this unit on and it will suck fresh air into your house and actually go up through your attic. And not only does it give you fresh air in the house, it also cools the whole unit. So then if you've ever been outside and you touched a car and it's hot but the sun's down, houses hold energy, heat. So this actually helps cool the whole unit down. You run this through the night and it actually brings down the temperature of the house so it has less time for it to have to run AC in the morning through the day. So we're gonna talk about this real quick and I'm gonna show you a quick little install. It's super easy, guys. If you have some basic hand tools in the house, a drill, tape measure, I'm gonna go over and show you a few tips on how I installed my last one, and now we're installing one on new construction as well. So this unit here comes with a fan that circulates and sucks air up through, and then this slinky looking device, which is all insulated. So I live in a cold climate area. This is Western Pennsylvania. Currently right now, it's 15 degrees outside. So, I'm doing this project this time of year because I have the house under construction. It makes sense to make the mess now, not later. These are more beneficial in climates that, where it's at least 60 degrees out, so you can, suck fresh air in and it's not making your furnace kick on. So one of the options I upgraded for was, this is a cold weather damper. So they have multiple different setups. This house is close to 4,000 square feet, so this is the biggest unit that they offer. They have a whole wide range. If you check them out, centricair.com, there's a bunch of different options you can look on there. They have a tech support. These guys, their team is super knowledgeable on what exactly you need, different suggestions. I sent them the blueprints of my new house. They suggested where to put it. So we're gonna go over a bunch of that here in a little bit. So this here is actually R50, the cold weather damper. And once we get this all installed, I'll show you how it works. It's really cool. So one of the first things is trying to find a location to install this. So you can see I have a new construction house. I have 2 furnaces in here. So I have a furnace up in the attic. So I have vents, lights, smoke detectors. It's a very busy ceiling. So unfortunately, my options are very slim because you have to keep it in a central location of the house, not behind closed doors, because if a door is closed, then a unit doesn't work. It needs the same amount of air coming through the windows as it does to exit, and I'll show you that up in the attic. So this seems to be one of my spots, and I'm gonna take you upstairs and show you exactly where I picked this area. This is the first step. This is the trim piece. So what I did is, to make it easier on myself, I took that trim piece and I laid it down on a piece of cardboard that this was all packed in. I laid it down and then I traced it for this perimeter right here, this inside perimeter. And then I'm going to go up in the attic and find that area, poke some holes down, and make sure that I'm okay with where this is gonna be, because it's very easy to repair a few little holes versus cutting a big hole and it not working. When the product was delivered, it was actually delivered in 2 manageable boxes. And when I say manageable, some of these competing companies come in this massive box and you almost can't even move it yourself. You need 2 people. So this is what the damper came in, and this is what the blower unit came in. So everything was very well packaged up. There was no issues with the shipping. This right here is the control box, and we'll talk about that once I get hooked up. This is all plug and play, and it has a remote control where you can set temperature and timer on it, so you don't forget about it and leave it run nonstop. So now that we're up in the attic, you could see the template down there. I marked template on it so I didn't get it mixed up with a scrap piece of cardboard. And we're going to either shoot this unit that way or possibly towards me. But first we got to get the hole cut through. So I'm going to climb across there, and keep this in mind, guys, this is super critical. If you're not familiar with attics, that's obviously drywall. You stand no chance of standing on drywall. You got to make sure that you're on supports, because if you step there, you're going to be going down through the drywall and causing yourself some restoration. So we're going to carefully climb across there. I had to cut a little board out right through there. It was holding this vent pipe up. I'll end up switching it over and putting it on this side. That was one thing. I wanted to keep it away from the edge of the overhang of the house as much as possible, so the blower unit has room to fit in there. So you can see the template is in place here. The directions say measure and find a corner right here next to the roof truss, and then, you know, measure 12 inches over. I'm going to do 4 corners, you know, as long as you understand how this whole theory works, is this unit is going to fasten to that roof truss there. It has metal brackets that come out on both sides, and then I'm probably going to put a cross brace right here just to support the other side, but it's not required because the metal brackets will actually hold it. So now that we got our 4 holes drilled, all 4 corners, we're going to line these up. All corners match. And then I'm going to go one step further. We know this area is open from any objects because that's where we chose to put it here. So I'm going to run screws up to hold this template in place. So this is just an extra step that I chose to take because I want to make sure when I look at it, everything's going to work out properly. So now that I'm okay with this, if you didn't do this step, then you can get a straight edge and mark all this out and cut it out. So I'm using an oscillating tool. If you didn't have an oscillating tool, you can use a jab saw. But the trick is to make sure when you cut this, that you cut it so you support the drywall. Can't just cut it and let it fall out because there's a good chance it's going to break or rip the drywall paper. So that's something you really got to pay attention to. So this is the side right here where the roof truss is. So I can feel that with the blade. You want to be tight against this side because this is where the unit is going to fasten. So this is the critical side. Make sure this is tight, and then this side here, there is margin for error because you have a flange on that trim piece. So we'll cut this side down this way. So now coming across here, I'm gonna cut here, and then I'll hold it and I'll cut the middle. Would help to have two people as well to hold it. So we'll take a little quick look here. You can see it's a nice flush edge here, and I didn't break any of the drywall, so that's the critical part. I pushed all that insulation back before we started so it didn't fall down on top of me here. So we're gonna see if the trim piece fits. If it doesn't, we'll fine tune it a little bit. It should fit, measure twice, cut once. And then we'll move up into the attic and start installing the damper box. All right, the grill fits in there, the trim piece. So now we got to put these L-shaped brackets in. There is a left and a right. So we're going to screw these in. The dimensions of this hole is approximately 28 inches wide, and the box is 29. So we're going to go 1/2 inch heavy on each side, set the screws in, and then see how it falls down in place. So we got the L-shaped brackets in place. The box is 29 inches, so I'm going to go 29 1/4, just give it a little bit of room to slide down in there. We'll put these screws in place here. So I'm going to double check my measurements. All right, so it should be good there. Put the rest of this hardware in and then fasten this all in place. All right, guys, there you have it. It's a nice snug fit. Brackets worked out perfect. Now we'll get this ductwork on and we'll face it that direction, see how it works out this direction. I'm not going to put any of the insulation back in till we're 100% sure everything's working the way it should. So this kit supplies you with all the hardware to put all this stuff on. So the ductwork goes over top of this flange. What I found out was easiest to start the back and work your way over. Make sure it's always seated. So I have it seated down. Now I'm going to screw these Tech screws in to support the sides. So we're gonna hang this motor head right here. Gotta find good footing here. A little bit concerned about how powerful this fan is, if it's gonna blow this insulation, but we're gonna try this here, see how it works out. So we're gonna try it right here, see how it works out. All right, we got all those tightened up. I'll snug them up a little bit better. I'm trying to angle this kind of up in a way so it doesn't blow my insulation out. I'm not really sure if it's going to, and there's also a belly strap that will support that right there. Once we get all this in, we'll plug it in and put that trim piece down in the bottom and fire this thing up. So we got it all installed. I just have the boxes and everything just on a 2x4 here just for right now. I'll clean all that up later. So one of the things that I was concerned about, this thing is so powerful. I have blow-in insulation, so I did have it a different direction, and I caught it before it got too out of control, but it started blowing it all through here. So now that I have it facing up in this direction, If you look way down there, that's a whole nother room over there. I believe it's 25 by 40, so there's a bunch of open air, a bunch of ridge vent and soffit. You can see the daylight, it's all vented soffit, so I definitely have enough air to escape through here. But we're gonna turn this on. This is that wireless remote, and we'll do another video all in detail on how this stuff works and different scenarios and stuff, but for right now, I'll turn this on. So you hold the button in. You can see now that I have it set up different. It's not as bad. I'll have to fix this a little bit, clean that stuff up, but we'll go downstairs and I'll show you how the damper works. So before I button all this up, there's 2 places for some screws for some extra support, but I just wanted to show you how this damper works. So you hold the button. You can see it's all power. There's a nice weather stripping there. And you can feel the vortex from here. Like I said, I'll do some other videos of it drawing, showing you how much it draws. But it's pretty cool technology. So I'm doing a smoke test here. It's just a fog machine, but you can see the draft that it's pulling it up. There's a smoke detector right next to it, and it's not setting it off. So it's pretty impressive. All right, guys, that's a wrap on this install. If you check it out above me there, it turned out perfect. Everything, the trim, everything lined up just the way I thought it would, so the template worked out great. If you have any questions, leave them down in the comment below. I'll try to answer them the best I can. If not, you can reach out to centricair.com. So like always, we appreciate you guys watching, and I want to thank Centric Air for giving me the opportunity to work with their products. Catch you on the next one.